Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Kick off the new year in professional grade style with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Right now, drive home a GMC Arcadia with 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or choose a 26 GMC CR 1500 and get up to $7,000 in rebates with an eligible trade-in, or 0% APR for well-qualified buyers. Big capability, bold style, and New Year savings you don't want to miss. Start the year strong at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online at hurlchev.com.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. Yesterday, on February 2nd, 2026, at around 6 o'clock, the Goodland Police Department executed a narcotics search warrant in the 200 block of West 11th Street in Goodland, according to the Goodland Police Department and Jason Earnhardt, Chief of Police. During the search of the residence, officers located illegal narcotics and an improvised explosive device. The Goodland Police Department and the Sherman County Sheriff's Office secured and maintained the perimeter while additional resources were requested. The Kansas Highway Patrol Hazardous Device Unit responded to the scene and safely removed the improvised device without further incident. One suspect is currently in custody and is facing multiple felony charges related to the investigation. The investigation remains ongoing, and no additional information will be released at this time. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
This morning, we'll see a widely scattered light wintry mix of snow and rain. The temperatures a degree or two above and below freezing. However, precipitation will only amount to a few points of moisture. Clouds and wintry mix will linger in areas east of highways 25 and 83 and clear from west to east the rest of the day, with highs in the mid-40s to the east and the lower 50s to the west. Northwest winds will generally be light at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be mostly clear. Winds will turn to the west and increase 10 to 20 miles per hour, and lows will be mild in the lower 30s. Tomorrow, a dry trough will move over the area with northwesterly winds increasing 20 to 30, gusting to 40 miles per hour, and highs will be in the mid to upper 60s, maybe even hitting 70 under sunny skies. Overnight lows will be mild in the low to mid 30s, and Friday, more northerly winds, but temperatures will remain warm in the low to mid 60s. This meteorologist Chris Schromick of the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
With NextTech Wireless, get truly unlimited data as low as $40 a month. And get the latest devices like the iPhone 17 on us. iPhone 17 has a 6.3-inch ProMotion display, Ceramic Shield 2, all 48-megapixel rear cameras, center stage front camera, A19 chip, and more. NextTech Wireless, celebrating 20 years of connecting Kansans.
Start the new year in a new Chevrolet from Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, where the deals are ready to roll. Right now, get behind the wheel of a Chevy Trailblazer with 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or step up to a Chevy Silverado 1500 and score up to $6,250 in rebates with an eligible trade-in. It's the perfect time to upgrade your drive and start the year strong with the power and reliability of Chevy. Make your New Year's move today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online anytime at hurlchev.com.
When fraud strikes, every second counts. At FNB Bank, we take your security seriously. Our local team monitors for suspicious activity and responds fast, so small issues don't turn into bigger problems. I'm Jessica Von Little at FNB Bank. We are your first line of defense, protecting you, your money, and your peace of mind. FNB Bank, local, trusted, here for you. Member FDIC.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority. Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber, Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber, Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
If you want to win in football, it all starts up front. Mass kicks ass.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
They're basically idiots.
Covering it all from the preps.
Up ahead to Blair Lennon. Lennon, the crossover, back to Cure. Hello, boom! A two-handed tomahawk flush.
To the pros.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Protection is good. Bold loads it up. He's got it. A receiver there. Franklin makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Moxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
At the high post, Linton, beautiful post up down low. That's Schick, puts it up in and one. McKenna Schick.
A steal by the Huskies on a breakout. It's Mullins, and Mullins dunks. What a pass by Demery. A one-hopper, and Richard Patino has got to call a timeout.
Here's Collett with a very difficult shot. Able to finish the reversal, get fouled, and go to the line. Connor Collett with a double-double now, 11 points and 10 boards.
Andrews trying to get into the paint, takes a step back. 3, it's good with 1 on the shot clock. Andrews' biggest basket is a Bronco. 88-85, Boise State.
Well, Mr. Schuh, you were right last night. It was Miami of Ohio. They snuck her out by 2 on the road in Buffalo. It didn't take, 3 or 2 overtimes this time? Regulation.
No.
They get her done. I saw the score last night laying in bed. So you were right again. You're on a heater.
23-0.
Bet your Skittles with Connor Schuh. He knows what he's talking about here in 2026.
Not in this week of picks, though. We'll talk about that later.
We will get to picks of the weekend coming up here a little bit later on in the program. But happy Wednesday morning, everybody. It's February the 4th. Glad that you're with us here on the Morning Blitz on Rocket 1025, KLOE, NWKSradio.net, and the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Appreciate you making us part of your Wednesday. Cool start. Temperature is around, 28, at least outside the KKCI studios, but that little breeze out of the north makes it a little more cooler. Chance of maybe a little precipitation this morning. I don't know. I was looking at the pavement, and I was looking at it. It looked a little wet this morning, so I'm not going to lie. I was extra cautious, Connor, so I did not fall on my you-know-what. It was a little extra. I didn't know if we were going to have possibly some slick spots out here, but I didn't feel any as I was out walking around. But going to be, like I said, a day around the lower 50s today, and then looking ahead for the next couple of days. You know what's coming up if you're looking at temperatures ahead for the next few days, all the way through Monday, temperatures in the 60s to upper 60s on Monday. We're in the middle of February.
It's going to be 60s like all week, I think.
I mean, it pretty close. It's upper 60s Thursday all the way through mid to upper 60s on Monday. I mean, can you believe it? Just crazy. We're in February, for Pete's sake. Nonetheless, by the way, no precipitation on the forecast coming ahead from what it looks like. So Unfortunately, it's going to make a lot of people very, very sad. But anyway, plenty to get to on today's program. Mentioned Picks the Weekend recap. We'll talk a little wrestling with Jesse Gardner, Goodland High School wrestling coach, going to join and talk to us about some cowboy and cowgirl wrestling. They're actually having a pretty good season. A couple of cowboy and cowgirl wrestlers having some really good years this year. And so we'll get some more on that with Jesse Gardner in today's show. We will talk some NBA trades. I know that your beloved Cavs did some work at the trade deadline, and I can see you're thrilled about this. So we will get to that coming up in NBA trade discussion as well. But I want to kick off the show, of course, with our high school sports recap. As always, the FB Bank text line is open at 785-899-2222. If you'd like to be part of the Morning Blitz, please hit us up there with your thoughts, your comments, and your questions. Last night, some high school basketball. Interesting night, it looked like, over in Colby. A split. The Lady Eagles getting it done by 20 points, while the boys drop a close one there at home to the Norton Blue Jays. What are your takeaways from last night's game, Mr. Schuh?
The girls got up by a lot in that early third quarter, just kind of smothered Norton at that point, and Norton only scored 2 points in that third quarter. So the defense was what you were looking for Colby. There were some times where the offense was a little out of sorts, and maybe their defense in the first and second quarters wasn't so great, but they really locked everything down in that second half, and you saw the score 45-25. It was wraps after that third, and it didn't seem like Norton really had any chance of coming back. And they were a little bit overmatched. Norton, their girls team, definitely smaller than Colby, and I think the Eagles certainly used their size to their advantage in this game and were out rebounding them, out physicaling them, forced a bunch of turnovers. I think they forced over 20 in the game. And then the boys' game, a little bit different. No Josiah Hoppy or Cody Wright. So,
that would explain a lot. Okay.
Yes. Colby going in there without a couple of pretty physical guys in there, and their leading rebounder in Hoppy, who grabs just under, I think, 9 a game. And it was a struggle on the glass, and Norton, it felt like they got almost every single second chance point and were just grabbing every offensive rebound, and Colby couldn't really get much in the terms of second chance points, and they had a couple opportunities, but couldn't really get him to go, unfortunately, and just not enough shot making down the stretch. Unfortunately, it just felt like everyone went cold in the fourth quarter, and then Norton picked up a 9-point lead, and they just kind of held it there from that 7 to 9 point range and didn't really budge. And Colby also didn't really make their free throws in the game either, and that's going to hurt you. That's been a real struggle for them all season. Just as a team shooting free throws, they haven't really been able to do that quite as well as their competition. And Norton, they knocked down what felt like every free throw in that final stretch once you kind of got to that foul in time in the last minute 30. They just hit everything and didn't really give Colby a chance.
What are the Eagles shooting from the free throw line on the season? Do you have a percentage on that?
Let me actually pull that up. I have it here somewhere.
That's like one of Ross Volkmer's stats when I look at like NCAA tournament. Like what you're like, well, how do they shoot from the foul line? Because there's going to be a lot of close games. You're going to have to make some free throws down the stretch. Do you do that well enough to win? And boy, if that's a stat where they've really struggled this year, that's something to keep in mind for postseason time.
They shoot 62% from the line as a team, so
terrible.
That's not
actually as bad as you think. So
it feels lower when you're watching it in game time at times, but it's definitely not that bad. It's usually when it comes down to a little later in the game, it feels like at least in that second half, it felt like they weren't following. Yeah, not last night. It was more so just like the third and fourth quarters, stuff just wasn't falling from anywhere.
Okay. I have a question about the Colby Eagles. Who do you think, and this is about the Lady Eagles, first, so backing up to the girls who once again win 45-25 last night over Norton. Who is the most improved player this year for Colby?
See, that's an interesting question because I didn't see any of them play last year.
But just from beginning of the season to now, who is the most improved player? And if you say one of these names, I'm gonna say pick another. But anyway, go ahead.
Honestly, this is gonna sound like a cop out, I guess, but I think Shaylee Holzmeister.
No, you can't pick Shaylee Holzmeister. She's the best player on the team.
I'm picking her because she wasn't for the first 5 to 10 games, she wasn't really scoring that much, and she wasn't really, I guess, I don't know, getting the 10 to 15 to 20 points that maybe you'd expect from the number one player on a team this year. But over the past 5 or so games, she's really hit her stride and hasn't had less than 14 points in a game since, I think, the last couple of games of January. And she's really starting to hit a stride in terms of scoring because she's done everything else on the court well all season. But I think her jump in scoring is what's bringing me right there. So, yeah, she's improved a lot in terms of bucket getting.
Okay, we're gonna second most improved player behind. Shaylee Holzmeister to me is the best player that Colby has. She is no doubt the most talented player. Yes, she might improve. Who is the player? And once again, it's hard for you because you weren't here last year. But who is that player that maybe didn't play a lot last year, so Shaylee Holzmeister would not fit this category? Who's really improved, you think, over this first year of playing a lot of varsity minutes?
Okay, I think Fia Tubbs has actually improved
a lot.
Okay,
good answer. Thank you.
She's more of a defensive player, always hustling and getting loose balls and making deflections and good plays on that end. But especially lately, kind of in that same stretch where Shaylee's been scoring more, she's been scoring more as well, and has been really good from the foul line recently as well. We don't have stats on that, but trust me, she's been making them and has been a little more confident on the offensive end and just taking it to the paint and trying to get her shot whenever she has the opportunity. And yeah, has been scoring better lately and has certainly looked more assertive as the season has gone on.
Texter on our FNB Bank text line talking Colby Boys last night said that Jordan Jones had an off night and still tried to control the game was one thing that he said, kind of a tougher night there. And he said didn't get enough rebounding as well is what he said out of some guys. So in that game.
Yeah, I think that was about it. Jordan, he had a great first half, but it felt like the shots weren't really falling like usual in the second. And at that point, it was just it was out of everybody's hands. And then, yeah.
For Colby Boys this year, we don't want this, of course, to happen. But if Jordan Jones, rolled an ankle and is out for, an extended period of time, which, of course, we do not want. But, I mean, that would completely change how, what the Eagles are doing.
It's true. I mean, they do run.
Big of a piece.
They run through him.
Yeah. Last night here at the Max Jones Fieldhouse, Goodland Cowboys and Cowgirls home for the first time in 15 days. They had not been home to the Max Jones for a while, but they pick up a couple of wins over Burlington. Cowgirls winning easily in the Cure Bowl, as I called it. There could have been 5 Cures on the floor at the same time. There weren't, but there could have been 5.
How did you navigate all the Cures as a broadcaster? That's my question.
I've had great practice at this. We've been blessed with some great siblings that have played together, and it's honestly been a privilege to follow it. It's been cool. Whether it was or whether it was Hope and Haley Bierman who played together for, a little bit, or it was, you had Lindsay Cure and Libby Cure on the same team. You also had Emma and Olivia Lehman. So I've just gotten used to calling first names for kids because I've had a lot of siblings, and you want to make sure that people know who has the ball when they have it. So it's just how I guess I've kind of gone about it. So whether it was Libby or Allie and Libby and Allie, of course, were on the floor, cousins, and they have been all season. And then, for Burlington, they had Nevaeh and Cheney and Bethany they're all Cures. So it was one of those nights where you just had to say the first name too for those ladies out on the floor. But Goodland dominated Burlington. 57-19 was the final. Cowgirls once again continue to shoot the 3 ball very well here over the last few games. I mean, the last 4 wins, take it back now, last 5 wins for the Cowgirls, I think they've gone out there and made at least 4 3-pointers. And if they're going to go out there and make 4 3-pointers, and they don't take a lot of them. That's the other thing. And Bill Bierman made that point to me yesterday. He goes, we don't take a lot of threes, but if we make the ones that we do take, we're going to be very hard to beat. And that is a fact. The Cowgirls really shooting the 3 ball with a lot of confidence right now. Add inside with their ability to crash the glass with Lauren Linton and of course McKenna Schick, who's been great. She's the human vacuum cleaner under the basket. And then Libby Cure, who unfortunately kind of dealing with a little bit of a nagging ankle injury, hasn't played a lot. She's kind of gotten those what do they call that in the NBA when you get those days, those nights?
Oh, it's load management.
Load man. There we go. Libby Kear's been on load management for a couple of games now, which is good because even when she's out there, you can still it still bugs her a little bit. So, but the Cowgirls have looked great. They've won 5 in a row. They're back in the top 10 of the KBCA rankings. They're number 8 now, and well deserved. They're playing some great basketball, and if they continue to play this way the rest of the home stretch, they're going to be a very difficult out. They are playing with a lot of confidence and playing some really good basketball, are the Cowgirls. And the Cowboys, they beat Burlington at the topside tip-off back in December by 40-plus points. That was not the game last night. In fact, we had ourselves a rock fight on our hands there in Goodland, the Cowboys and the Burlington Cougars. Goodland pulls it out 51-40 thanks to some free throws down the stretch, but it was a close game kind of throughout. Cowboys were down 5 at halftime. Outscored Burlington 12-2 in the third quarter, and then just kind of held on, making free throws in the fourth. But it was not a pretty game. A lot of physicality. It was a rock fight, to say the very least. You wouldn't believe how many text messages I got from people saying, "Can you believe what we are watching?" I mean, it was one of those type of nights, or it was tough to watch. But as we said, post game, you'll take a gritty win over a pretty loss any day for the Cowboys, who got a nice double-double, second career double-double for Connor Collett, had 17 points and 11 rebounds. Braylon Mole had 16 points, which was half of what he had on Friday. But still, good performance from the Cowboys, despite struggling in the first half, kind of got it together in the second and were able to get it done. But, yeah, a solid performance from the Cowboys as they pick up back-to-back wins for the first time since the last time they were home back in mid-January. And now they've got a very difficult test coming up here on Friday with Hugoton coming to town. And that's a game they stole on the road late. And I can guarantee that Hugoton is out for blood here on Friday night. So a couple of nice games there inside the Max Jones Field, particularly from the Cowgirls. They are playing some top-notch ball. Allie Cure, by the way, led them with a season-high 14 points. If Emily Gray Stargell and McKenna Schick had made one more basket each, they would have had 5 girls in double figures. Balance
scoring.
Balance scoring for the Cowgirls. Anyway, other scores from yesterday. Quinter, we'll start with girls. Quinter rolled Plainville 64-36. Oakley won Insaney 56-21. Hoxie won again over Smith Center 53-34. Hoxie 16-1. Top 5 team in 2A is Hoxie girls. Boys scores. Decatur Committee blew out Dighton 67-46. Quinter came up short to Plainville 53-50. Oakley won over St. Francis 68-42. Hoxie fell at Smith Center 51-34. And also yesterday was the Western Kansas Liberty League basketball tournament at Grainfield. I do not have updated brackets on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream, but I do have the brackets. First round matchups, Shylin rolled over. This is girls, by the way. Shylin rolled over Logan Palco 63-37. Golden Plains with a squeaker over Northern Valley 30-26. Western Plains beat Tri-Plains Brewster 60-32. Shout out Western Plains. What a year they've been having, both in boys and girls basketball. Western, and then you had Wheatland Grinnell over Weskin 57-25. So that will be Shylin Golden Plains and Western Plains Wheatland Grinnell in your championship semifinals coming up here on Friday. And then in the boys bracket, you had Weskin, the top seed, beating Tri-Plains Brewster 65-38. Western Plains over Logan Palco 38-26. Wheatland Grinnell beat Northern Valley 69-41. And Shylin beat Golden Plains 51-44. And so you've got Shylin versus Wheatland Grinnell and Western Plains against Weskin in the championship semifinals coming up on Friday. Once again, that tournament resumes on Friday with the championship games held on Saturday inside the Max Jones Fieldhouse is where those championship games will be held. Second year they've done this, where they've held the championship games there at the Max Jones. So there you go, your Western Kansas Liberty League tournament first round in the books from yesterday. There you go. High school basketball from last night. Let's transition into some a topic that our good friend Connor Schuh wants to discuss here, the NBA trade season. Is the deadline behind us now?
No.
How much more time till the deadline?
It's Thursday at 3:00 Eastern, 4:00 Central. 5
So
o'clock
the question I have for you before we get into the Cavs, do you think Giannis will get traded before the deadline?
It's looking likely. It seems like he's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but I think the team is actively shopping him. It's is a team going to be able to give a big enough package to the Bucks to actually make this trade happen? Because I don't know. It seems like if they're going to give up Giannis, they might be rebuilding. So you might want 4 or 5 first-round picks for a guy like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Cleveland, anyway, yesterday was the big news story. The Cavaliers have decided to get rid of Darius Garland and move him on for an old man in the name of James Harden. Golly, when was James Harden in college? He played at Arizona State. Golly, he's been
late 2000s, early 2010s. He got drafted in like 20. I think he got drafted in 2010.
So he's an old guy like me. You know,
he's up there. He's
yeah,
up there.
So he's an older guy, and so he's coming to the Cavs. And I can tell by once again your expressions this morning, you are not excited about bringing the beard to Cleveland.
He always raises the floor of whatever team he goes to, but it seems like he just never has that postseason success, and he has a bad reputation as a locker room guy. He stuck around with the Clippers for a little bit, and it seemed like it was fine there, but apparently he didn't force his way out, didn't ask for a trade is what he said. So maybe he's not going to force his way out of Cleveland, but I don't know. I'm just scared with his history. And I guess the bright side is he never really gets hurt. He's always on the court, and he's still great. He's averaging 25, 7, and 7 on decent efficiency this year. But I really wish we would have just tried to hold on to Garland for one more year and work with him through the injuries, because granted, he's had toe problems for the past couple of years, and he hasn't been able to play very much this season. And when he's tried to play through the injury, it hasn't looked very good, but at his peak, he's still almost an all-NBA player, and so is James Harden. But it's also like they do a lot of the same things really well, so I don't really understand why you'd get older at the same position with a very similar guy. I guess Harden's a little more physical on the offensive end, but they're both not good defensively. So you're not really changing much there. And maybe he's a leader. He's a guy who's been in the playoffs before, but so has this entire Cavs roster at this point. They've been there for the past couple of years. So I don't think that matters very much. And Cavs also gave up a second rounder to add insult to injury, but I don't know. They must know something about Darius Garland's injury, and it must be more serious than everyone on the outside thinks. And that's probably why the trade was made. And James Harden is still a great player, but he in NBA years is pretty old. So I doubt he's going to be great for long.
Harden says, I see an opportunity to win in the East. They got a very good team, coaching staff, all the above. So as much as I wanted to stay in LA and give it a go, I've never won a championship before. And so maybe have a better chance in Cleveland, he says. Looks true. Chasing a championship there. Any other big trade deadlines that are on your mind, or trade deadline storylines that are on your brain this morning?
Well, there's a handful of other trades that got made yesterday. Jaren Jackson Jr. traded from the Grizzlies to the Jazz. That was, I didn't expect him to go to the Jazz, but he was a big name that was supposed to be on the move. And he was traded with, I'm curious if you know who any of these names are. Just John Konkar.
Who was it?
John Konkar.
Nope, never heard of him.
Jock Landale.
No.
Vince Williams Jr.
Nah, Vince Carter. That's all I'm thinking.
Those three were all traded with Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Grizzlies for Kyle Anderson, Walter Clayton Jr., hero in last year's national championship, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 future first rounders.
George Niang! God, George Niang is still playing. Wow.
They call him the minivan. And yeah, so I guess the Jazz are going for it next year because they're 15-34 right now. So obviously they're looking at next year as the big year with Triple J, who's a great player, really good shooter.
Ace Bailey going to be getting along okay there?
I think they'll be just fine. I mean, Jaren plays a different role. He's a shot blocker. He was the defensive player of the year a couple of years ago. So you got a good player on your hands. And there's a couple slightly more minor trades. Anthony Simons in a second to the Bulls for Nikola Vucevic and a second to the Celtics, not to mention Mike Conley and Jaden Ivey traded to the Bulls. Pistons get Kevin Huerter, Dario Saric, and then the Timberwolves kind of jump into this one and get some cash considerations to make all the money work. So things are starting to heat up a little bit.
Is there any, before we get to break, is there any trades that you may have your eye on at this point in time? Besides, of course, Giannis, obviously. Is there anything else that stands out to you?
Anthony Davis might get moved. I think that's something to look for, but he's hurt right now. I don't know.
That didn't stop Darius Garland from getting traded.
That's a fair point. But AD is a guy with pretty storied injury history, and Ja Morant might get shopped. Maybe some guys on the Hornets, they're going to try to buy in and win now. Zion Williamson, he might be a name. So I think there's going to be some action as we get a little bit closer. But I'm happy we got some big trade buzz a couple of days before.
We'll follow that a little bit more over the next 48 hours. Let's get to a break. We're going to completely shift gears and talk some high school wrestling. In studio, joining us will be Jesse Gardner, Goodland High School wrestling coach. Next, you're listening to The Morning Blitz.
Kick off the new year in professional grade style with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Right now, drive home a GMC Arcadia with 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or choose a 26 GMC CR 1500 and get up to $7,000 in rebates with an eligible trade-in, or 0% APR for well-qualified buyers. Big capability, bold style, and New Year savings you don't want to miss. Start the year strong at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online at hurlchev.com.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Tom Saluda with the Anderson Trade Group with your overnight market report on February the 4th. In the overnight session, March corn was down 1.5 at 426.5. May corn down 1 1/4 at 434 1/4. In July, down 1 1/4 at 440.5. March soybeans were down 2.5 at 1063. May soybeans down 2 at 1074.5. In July, down 1.5 at 1088.5. March KC wheat is down 4.5 at 530. May KC down 4.5 at 542. In July, down 4.5 at 555.5. Dow Jones is currently up 80 points at 49,429. S&P is up 4 points at 6,946. NASDAQ is down 93 points at 25,358. Gold is up 141 points at 5,077. And silver is up 8 points at 91 an ounce. Crude oil is slightly down at 62.90 a barrel. If you're out in the Colorado area and have any grain to market or risk management questions, please call John Hanke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or you can call the Overland Park office, myself, Tom Saludo, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000. Thank you.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
When it comes to cattle performance this winter, protein isn't optional. It's essential. The right protein helps cattle pull more energy from every bite of feed and keeps rumen microbes doing their job. Want better fiber digestion and feed efficiency? Feed Smart Lick protein tubs. After all, performance starts with protein. It's not about working harder. It's about feeding smarter. Go to smartlick.com. That's smartlic.com to find your dealer.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Sports talk that's fast, fresh, and always on point.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
This is the Morning Blitz.
8:36 Central, 7:36 in the Mountain Time Zone on this Wednesday, February the 4th. Going to be sunny, temperatures in the 50s, but it's going to be a lot warmer the rest of the week. Temperatures expect to get up to the upper 60s at some point in time over the course of the weekend. We are joined in studio by Jesse Gardner. He is the head wrestling coach for Goodland High. Joins us now. You can see him, of course, on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. Coach, I got to ask, these 60-degree temperatures that we've experienced this winter, this does not feel like wrestling weather to me. I'm curious if you're in the same boat as that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like wrestling weather for sure, but it makes it nice for us coaches that have to drive everywhere every weekend. That makes it nice, not having to worry about weather. But yeah, it's kind of weird going into a gym and then coming out and it's still being warm.
Jesse Gardner, once again, our guest, Goodland High School Wrestling. Coming into this season, what were kind of your thoughts about both boys and girls wrestling teams for Goodland High coming into this season? What were kind of your thoughts and expectations?
Coming in, I knew we didn't have a whole lot of upperclassmen, so I knew we'd have a lot of young kids, and our goal is just to develop them and to get better every day. So we've really been doing that all season long. I have a great coaching staff that's been helping with that. And our upperclassmen have really been some leaders, and they're wrestling really well this year and helping bring the younger classmen along.
You know, you mentioned so many young wrestlers, but, you know, wrestling is one of those sports where you started really young, and it's one of those deals that can translate. How do you feel like these young wrestlers have developed, you know, even before they had gotten to you to now where they are right now?
They've developed a lot. That's our kids program here in Goodland is great. That's Chris Douglas and Tim Bonebry have done a great job there. And they really prepare these kids, get them into junior high. The junior high coaches are amazing here. They keep working with them. When we get to high school, we just have to show them there's a huge competition difference when you go from wrestling kids your age to wrestling some 18-year-olds. But we're really getting in there and learning, and they're improving every day. So
what's the biggest thing you've seen when it comes to improvement on a consistent basis, you know, across your entire lineup, both boys and girls?
We're really trying to improve on our feet wrestling because takedowns are 3 points. So that's the quickest way to score points. So we want to be dominant on our feet, not giving up easy scores, and always pushing the pace. We want to be one of the best conditioned teams and always be ready to wrestle in that third period.
When you look at this year's team, who have been some standouts for you? I mean, I know just kind of following along from a distance, you know, we've seen some great things from Traven Conger, Danica Doddle, to name a few. There's been plenty of others that have had some really good seasons. Kind of talk about some of the top wrestlers that you've had so far this year.
Yeah, on our girls' side, Danica Doddle has had an amazing year, and she's peaking at the right time. She just pinned the number 4 girl in the state in the finals up at Baldwin. Landon Von Linnell is a freshman, and she's wrestling really good this year. She wrestled some tough competition at Baldwin. She wasn't feeling the best and still barely lost to him. So when we're 100%, I think we're going to get him. And then on the boys' side, we have Traven Conger, of course, our returning placer from last year. We have Michael Johnston. He has really turned it on this year and wrestling really good. Noah Wollock's been wrestling really good. Gavin Price came in. He weighs 180 pounds and is wrestling 215 for us. So
I heard.
But yeah, he comes out, works hard every day, and he's not scared. He goes out there and fights every match. So we got to give it to him for that.
How much of a disadvantage to wrestle 20 pounds under the weight class that you're in?
Oh, it's got to be tough for him, but he's a strong man. You can look at him and you can tell he's a strong kid. But we tried telling him earlier in the season, like, hey, we can cut those 4 pounds, get down to 175. But he's bulking for football, hoping to get to play football next year. So we're like, all right, you come out, you wrestle where you want, and we'll keep working with you and hopefully get some wins. And he's been doing really good for us.
In the course of you coaching wrestling and also being a wrestler yourself, how many times do you see that where a guy is wrestling that big a difference in poundage?
You know, you see that heavyweight sometimes, like when a kid can't get below 215, maybe he's like a 220, 230. But being 180, wrestling 215, you don't see that a whole lot. That's a pretty big gap.
It's a humongous gap. But we are joined here in studio by Jesse Gardner, Goodland High School wrestling coach. You know, we were talking about, you know, Goodland is still where you are still the head coach for the boys and the girls. Kind of talk about that dynamic, you know, when it's practice time, you know, for you when you've got to go to 2 separate meets. How does kind of all that work, and how has that been adjusting to that here over the last couple of years?
So we all practice together in the pit. We have one big practice, and it works pretty good. It gets a little crowded down there, not going to lie, but we make it work. We figure out ways to make it work. And then going to meets, I try to go to every Friday, Saturday meet. So I try to split my meets equally. And then our coaching staff, we just rotate through. So there's no designated coach for girls or boys for assistants or me. We just rotate through, so we all coach each other, and we just make it work. The kids feel like we all support them, and that's what we want. Like, we don't want any kid thinking, oh, he only wants to coach one or the other.
Coach, what's been your favorite part about coaching these two teams this year?
Favorite part's just seeing the growth from them all. They've been wrestling really well, and just from the beginning of the season till the end, I've seen so much improvement in all of them. That just to me, shows all their hard work and dedication paying off.
Jesse Gardner, once again, is our guest here on the Morning Blitz. Goodland High School wrestling coach. It's hard to believe, but you get to this Saturday and you're 3 weeks away from state. I mean, the season has flown by as it usually does. What are you trying to get accomplished here, or for the girls in the next week before regionals, and the boys in the next 2 weeks before regionals, to make sure that, as you've said before, peaking at the right time in all areas?
Really, we're just telling them, believe in yourself, trust in yourself. We've prepared them all. And we told them, you have the technique, you have the tools, you're in shape. Now you just got to believe in your mind. Wrestling's very mental. Like, you got to go out there and believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, there's a good chance you might lose. So we're just trying to tell them, trust the process, take it one match at a time, and just believe in yourself. You guys got this. They're all capable.
And here's the other thing too, throughout the course season, you wrestle against a lot of the same people that you'll wrestle, of course, in regionals. And so for the coaches and for the wrestlers, you kind of have an idea of how you stack up before you even going into that. So how big of a mental game is it to make sure that you are prepared? Because you could be thinking, well, I've beaten this person, already twice this year. But you could possibly say, how do you get the wrestlers mentally prepared for this? Not only just because, like you said, you want to have the confidence to that, but at the same time, you could be overconfident too and possibly get beat by someone you've already beaten once, because you face these people so many times.
Yeah, we don't want them to be getting complacent. We always tell them, wrestling, anyone can win at any given time. Like, you can get caught in a throw. You could be up 14-0 and get caught. So we always tell them, push the pace, don't stay complacent. Just don't take any match for granted and take it one match at a time. Don't worry about who you're wrestling in the finals or who you might see later on in the bracket. Just worry about now who you have and move on one match at a time.
What's the field looking like as you get set for regionals? As the coach, you kind of have to know what to expect. What's the field looking like for regionals for both girls and boys?
It's 4A regionals are tough, especially on the girls' side when they do those super regionals. I mean, they have us going all the way to Augusta, Kansas, so it's pretty much the whole west side from Wichita West are all in our regional. But it's looking like we have a shot to get quite a few girls and boys through. If we go out there and wrestle to our potential, we should have some good chances to place and at least get some blood rounds and then keep building. But I told all of them, like, no match is guaranteed. Like, we go out there and wrestle, we could get some upsets and just make our way through. So
dumb question. I haven't looked this far ahead. Where is girls regionals? Boys regionals, I think, is in Augusta, right? Is that right?
Boys regionals is in Beloit.
Boys is in Beloit?
Yep. Girls is in Augusta.
Oh, though. There we go. That's what it is. Because I remember someone saying, can you believe they got to go to Augusta to wrestle? I mean, for those who don't have, of course, a Kansas map, that's southeast of Wichita. So it's a long way to go. But yeah, talk about I don't know if I really consider that a regional, but nonetheless, you got to know how to travel this coming up here.
That's for sure. We drive farther for both regional tournaments than we do for our own state tournament.
Well, the best part is, hopefully, if you can qualify a lot, it's almost like homecoming for state, right?
Yeah, I mean, girls, we're driving half the distance just to go to state than we did for regionals. So, yeah, that's why I told them, like, we'll go have some fun on the trip, go wrestle hard, and then we can go to state, and it'll be a shorter drive.
You've mentioned a couple of your top wrestlers, Traven Conger and Gavin Price, Michael Johnson on the boys' side, Danica Dottle, Landon Von. When you look at them, where do you think they have each improved probably the most?
A lot of it's confidence. Like, you got to give it Traven and Michael. Those two kids can be down by 14 points, and they still believe they're going to win the match. And you can't really coach that. Those kids, they're just fighting nonstop. They will not give up, and I just have to give them props for that. we watched Traven last year, and he'd be down in a lot of matches and come back, and he's just got a unique style of wrestling it's very fun to watch. Sometimes it gives you a heart attack when you're sitting in the corner, but no, him and Michael, they will not give up on the mat. It doesn't matter the score. They're up 14, they're down 14. They're still believing they're going to win that match.
What's it like being in the corner? And how has that adjustment been for you? Being in the corner and trying to will these kids on to get victories, but I'm sure that's got to be quite the pit in your stomach, the butterflies in your stomach too.
Oh, there's times I feel like I get more nervous than the kids do. Yeah, it's hard for me, especially coming from where I was competing 2 years ago to now. It's just an adjustment, and I try not to show my nerves, but I'm one of those coaches. I'm not scared to jump out of my seat, be on the edge of the mat screaming. But
I love those coaches. I want those ones that have all the big emotions. That's great. I love that stuff. That is fantastic. Before we let you go, like you mentioned, pro season's coming up here. What's on the docket for this? Anything for this weekend, or do you like to give this weekend off to rest a little bit to make sure everyone's ready to go for the next 2 weekends?
So we take some of our younger kids down to Leota tomorrow for just a little scramble meet. And then our league tournament is actually Friday.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll all go down to Ulysses for league. Then we get Saturday, Sunday off. And then girls regionals is the 13th and 14th. Boys will be the 21st, and then states the 27th and 28th.
Are boys just a one-day deal on the 21st?
Yep. So girls are a super regional where they have 32-man brackets,
yes.
and with you're only allowed to wrestle 6 matches in a day. They have to split it for 2, but boys, they have 4 regionals still, so they can run 16-man brackets and wrestle all the way through.
They're not going to have this super regional stuff continuing for too long. I think there's way too many girls wrestlers to do that probably in the future.
That's what I'm thinking. And when you're making us, Colby, Scott, drive clear to Augusta, they got to put they need to split it down so we can have 4 regionals.
Yeah, can we just put it someplace else? Well, that'll be great. Head wrestling coach for Goodland High, that is Jesse Gardner. Coach, thanks for coming in. Appreciate the time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, best of luck with the rest of the season ahead for Goodland Cowboy and Cowgirl Wrestling. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we will wrap up the show with our Picks of the Weekend recap next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
This is Bella Wright, senior cheerleader at Goodland Junior Senior High School. Winter sports and activities are underway with a full slate of action planned to take place in the coming weeks. Basketball, wrestling will host home games coming up, while esports, Scholars Bowl, and KMEA Music will be competing across the state. Stay up to date by clicking on the Cowboy information link on our website. The Black and Gold Booster Club, proudly supporting all students in their academics, activities, and athletics.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities, contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
Start the new year in a new Chevrolet from Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, where the deals are ready to roll. Right now, get behind the wheel of a Chevy Trailblazer with 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or step up to a Chevy Silverado 1500 and score up to $6,250 in rebates with an eligible trade-in. It's the perfect time to upgrade your drive and start the year strong with the power and reliability of Chevy. Make your New Year's move today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online anytime at hurlchev.com.
roof worn out and it needs replaced, who you gonna call?
Roof Masters!
Roof Masters Roofing of Colby has been your premier roofing contractor for over 40 years, offering free estimates on all types of roofs, as well as seamless rain gutters and vinyl siding. So give us a call today. What's that number, Jake?
462-6642. I think you better call
Roof Masters!
It's game time.
What time is it? Game time!
You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
Thanks again to Jesse Gardner for hopping on the program, talking a little Goodland High School wrestling. Best luck to them and all other area wrestlers as postseason wrestling gets going a week from Friday for the girls, and 2 weeks from Friday with the boys. So appreciate him stopping in and talking a little wrestling here this morning. Connor, I'm having a hard time. When should we do the Wheel of Love? When should we do it? Should we do it tomorrow or should we do it Friday? I feel like we should almost do it at the end of the week and just cap it then. That's what
I was going to say the same thing. Give the people an extra day. Why not?
So Friday, officially, we're going to do the Wheel of Love. The Wheel of Love. And so Traditions Restaurant, of course, and the strings attached with their Valentine's dinner and dance. We have 2 tickets. Right here. I have them right here off the side. See, 2 tickets. I have them. They're right here. 2 tickets. And then we're going to spin the Wheel of Love. So we'll have let's just real quickly. Let's throw out another word. Give us another word of the day. Why not? Let's just give more chances to win. I want to get as many people in as possible.
Valentine.
Valentine is the word of the day. Text the word Valentine to 785-899-2222. That's our F&B Bank text line. And you could be entered in for a chance to be a winner. You'll have another spot on the wheel. If you're already entered in, you'll get another name on the wheel. Like I said, so we're going to spin the big Wheel of Love on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream, and that will decide our winner for this Valentine's night dinner and dance at Traditions Restaurant featuring strings attached. And of course, you can also always stop in at Traditions and get tickets too, but why go spend money on tickets when we can get you 2 free ones right here for you and your significant other? So anyway, that's all coming up on Valentine's Day night. We'll have Spin the Wheel of Love on Friday to have our winner. All right, let's wrap up the show. It's time to look back at picks of the weekend. So how did we do this week? Connor Schuh was not feeling good. So did Ross have a comeback this week?
You passed me in the standings.
Woo! All right, lay it on us.
So you finished 8-4 this week. I went 3-9. Awful week. I don't know what happened, but
ladies and gentlemen, this is why you don't put money.
Yes. Started out with a little NBA, Clippers at the Nuggets. I took a flyer on the Clips, and the Nuggets won by 2. You picked the Nuggets.
I did. I picked the Nuggets. Luckily, we didn't pick the OKC Nugget game. I think that was on Sunday because that was a beat.
I think it was a 30-point blowout.
Yep,
I'm pretty sure. Nets at Jazz, a tank bowl for the ages. I chose the Jazz, and of course, the Nets win. You picked the Nets.
It helps to have zero NBA knowledge.
2-0 to 0-2 in this one. Now we get to college basketball and number 13 BYU at number 14 Kansas. And we know how this one went. You picked Kansas.
Yep.
I picked BYU. AJ versus Darren. Darren wins this one. Colorado State at Wyoming. We both won Colorado State, and they lost, unfortunately, to the, I can't remember Wyoming's mascot.
The Cowboys.
Wow. That's an easy one, too. I can picture the logo in my head, but
that's right. The Cowboys,
what are you gonna do?
Wyoming.
TCU at Colorado, a little Big 12 hoops, and I couldn't believe the final score of this one. Colorado won by 20, and you picked Colorado.
I did. They came through. Tad Boyle.
I picked the Texas Christian. Didn't work out too well for me. All right. Here we go. It just keeps going. Ohio State at Wisconsin. I thought Ohio State would get off the mat and finally get a good win in their resume. And, that day was not the day for it on Saturday. They lost, and your Wisconsin Badgers won this one.
This has been great. I look like a genius.
Well, this one isn't fun for you.
Okay.
Illinois at Nebraska.
That was not fun. It wasn't fun.
Both picked the Huskers, and Illinois pulled out that one.
I don't know. They didn't pull out. They won it big. I mean, they They played great. Illinois was.
They pulled it out in the second half,
Did
though.
you
It was
see that pass they had where they threw it, skipped it across, and he almost hit it like a slap?
Ivicic, yeah.
My gosh, you can't tell me he planned that. That seemed like pure luck. But anyway,
That was pretty impressive.
Wow.
Arizona at Arizona State. This one was chalk. Arizona won, as we both predicted. I mean, who in their right mind is going to pick ASU
Arizona at this point in time? Can't
we
wait
were
for Kansas, Arizona at the Fog, though. That's going to be a good one.
That will be great. This one, however, padding our stats, I would say. Another one to pad our stats, Northern Illinois at Miami of Ohio. We both picked the Red Hawks, and they're still undefeated.
You would have had me last night. I picked Buffalo, came up 2 points short. Dang it.
Close one. This was a good game. Michigan at Michigan State. I'm surprised neither of us picked Michigan. We both had State, and the Sparty lost.
I'm telling you, that score floored me. I honestly wasn't, Friday had games down at Cimarron and was busy, and so I didn't watch any of the game. In fact, I didn't even see a score until Saturday. And I was like, whoa. I was floored on how. You see that picture of Dusty May standing in front of the student section, or sitting in front of the student section, like back chill, like.
I did. I hate it.
He knew what he had.
He should be Ohio State's head coach right now. I tell you that much.
Uh-oh. We're off the Diebler train.
I have not really been on the Diebler train. I'll tell you that. He's a great guy. I've met him. I've talked to him a handful of times, but just ain't cutting it this year.
I'm shocked
All right.
they went with. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Dayton at number 21, St. Louis. St. Louis gets the W. You got that one. I had Dayton covering because it was an 11.5-point spread. I'm like, Dayton's a good program. They're going to at least get it within that. They got beat by 30, I think. So, didn't quite happen. And then finally, this is the only one I got right that you missed. Avs, the Colorado Avalanche, played the Red Wings in Detroit. And the Avs won 5-0. You picked the Red Wings. That's your picks.
Wow. That was my hockey is terrible. That is apparently my blind spot. But NBA, apparently I know a lot about. Who would have said?
Something like that.
Picks of the weekend. That's fantastic. So what is the records now as we sit here today?
You are one game above me, 39-25 to 38-26 for me.
Oh man. A great week for your boy. But it only lasts for a few more days before we have picks of the weekend again, and it could all change.
See how it goes.
It all change. All right, we're up against the clock. Let's get to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Difference going on in New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
College basketball tonight. You've got the Colorado Buffaloes. Fresh off that nice 20-plus point win over TCU, snapping that 6-game skid. They are on the road at Baylor tonight. Tip-off at 6 o'clock Mountain. If you want to watch it, Buffalo fans, watch it on Peacock if you'd like to watch that one. And then you've got some JUCO hoops tonight. 40 Tech Northwest, long road trip to the southeast part of the state to take on Independence.
Oh, no.
And Colby Community College at home hosting Dodge City. Of course, we mentioned this is with Coach Darren Spence yesterday. Of course, the women's team is number 3 in the nation for Dodge City, and so a tough matchup there. You think you're going to get called in out of the bullpen to go do some PA today?
I got the call yesterday. We're there.
He is there. All right, go say hello to Connor Schuh. He'll be behind the mic, giving you the starting lineups. So that'll be great.
That's what we do.
Best of luck. Have fun with that. Bring a disinfectant wipe for the microphone.
That's a good idea. I haven't thought about that yet. That thing's probably nasty at this point.
After the one time I got sick doing PA, I will never go do PA again without bringing my own can of either, disinfectant or some sort of Clorox wipe.
That's a good call. I don't know why I never thought of that.
Take one with you. It's no offense to whoever cleans the microphones, but no offense. Just don't touch it. There you go. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here on a Thursday. We're going to talk college baseball tomorrow, believe it or not, as the season
finally
up this weekend. We'll talk some college baseball tomorrow here in the Blitz. Have a good one.